So having a guide's a real added bonus. And then on the Lurgavaga, for example, in Iceland, we also have some guided trips, and other guided trips include around in Croatia. We have some in the Picos, Europa, in Spain on the Camino Norte, and a number of different Camino programs that we offer are guided, and that's to give a little bit more information to you as travelers and walkers, and also to bring together people in a group. And that works beautifully with people. But of course, being a guided trip, there are limited dates. And that's something that is really important to remember when selecting a guided or a self-guided trip. The next thing you should consider when choosing a walking holiday is the grading of that walk. So, for example, I love showing this photo in the middle, which is in the Dolomites. It's on our Via Ferrata guided walk, and obviously heights are going to freak some people out. So this probably may not be suitable for people that have a fear of heights, but it is a great walk and actual climb for those that are really into that thrill. The coast to coast we grade as a 5 because we have really long days, and some of our alpine walks are graded 5. So as you can see from the circles below, we grade our trips from 1 to 5, 1 being introductory and 5 being challenging, 3 being moderate, 2 being an intro to moderate, and 4 being a moderate to challenging. Many of our alpine hikes, for example, are graded 4, whereas a village to village hike may be 2, but many of our trips are actually graded 3. And to be honest, not many are graded 1. And this is because it really is a requirement that you have some fitness to do any walk in Europe. I think we grade a Cinque Terre as 1, but that is a personal thing. And, you know, sometimes people say, well, I thought it was more of a 2 or a 3. But on average, I think we get our grading spot on. So certainly have a look when you're looking for a hiking holiday, what the grade is. Then have a look at the terrain, and we do give you details on the terrain on our website, and also in our grading description it will tell you what sort of surfaces you'll be walking on. So you might be on the Strada Blanca surfaces of Tuscany on the Via Francigena, which is a very much a gravel road, and other areas you'll be on snow, for example, in the early season departures on the Tour de Mont Blanc, or on other walks you're going to be up steep slopes. There's going to be potentially mud, tree roots, and it could be rocky. So if you are not comfortable walking on uneven surfaces, then you can either do some training preparation to become more comfortable on those uneven surfaces, or choose a walk that doesn't have as much uneven surfaces. But to be fair, most of our walks do have a little bit of uneven surfaces to a lot. The next thing is, this is the exciting thing, of course, is the destinations. And I have to say, Europe's got such diversity, and you can be walking along, for example, a coastline in Portugal, where you'll see the Rota Vicentina, a fabulous ecotourism initiative that's brought tourism to this very less touristed part of Portugal, but just spectacular. All the way across to Turkey's Lycian coast, which is down on the southern coast, and that is another great place to do some fabulous walking. Right up to the Baltic Sea coast in Sweden, and across to Ireland and its lovely peninsulas of the Dingle and Kerry, and up in the Scottish Highlands, where I think you see some of the best walking around as well. But in between all of that, you've got the rest of Europe. And here, between France and Spain, you have the Pyrenees. And this is often a place that people start their Camino Frances journey, which is that very much talked about route from Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port across the Pyrenees and all the way along the length of Spain to the pilgrimage city of Santiago de Compostela. So that's an 800-kilometre route, but starting in the Pyrenees. And we have a few other trips that also include the Pyrenees. Another mountainous area is obviously the Western Alps, which is covering around Switzerland, France, Italy, and Austria and Germany is all included in parts of the Western Alps, with the highest peak being, of course, Mont Blanc, and that's being a really great focus point for our Tour de Mont Blanc walking holidays.